Hello, I'm Robert Donoghue from the Environmental Learning Research Centre at Rhodes University. And looking at water quality and river health, working with Ayanda and Jim, there have been some really interesting starting points, and these need to come out in a local area, and they can often come out in work with the SDGs by asking the question, how do the SDGs inform our grasp of complex water quality and river health concerns? And of course, these can be linked to heritage for a deeper understanding. So if we look at the present water concerns in colonial modernity, and here I use the concept of colonial modernity because the modern age and the colonial age have been quite oppressive and marginalizing in many ways. And the result is that people have lost their agency and their capabilities of actually working with these concerns, and therefore they've become problems at a local level. So if we look at river health and water quality assessment, here you've got some youth working in a river and assessing the water quality, and here using the mini SAS to look more deeply into how the river has changed and what are the problems that they're dealing with at a local level. Now, these have been brought on by change, by increasing drought conditions, increasing sewage in the rivers in many places, farm nutrients washed out when the farmers put on fertilizers, and this leads to more costly water purification and lower quality of water. And of course, the key thing that we're looking at is the degrading of river ecosystems and many other associated concerns. So the health risk and the costs of water have been going up when the river health has been going down. And this is often a really important starting point, and a key tool that you can use are the Sustainable Development Goals wheel. And here, looking at life and water using the mini SAS and considering the impacts of climate change and droughts in an area need to be taken into account, along with health and well-being in the communities, the need for education, the way that this impacts on gender, particularly on women, and that the water quality itself can become a challenge. And this can be linked to many of the other concerns as well. So the Sustainable Development Goals wheel is a process where you can actually begin a conversation, a deliberation around these concerns. And if we now look at the water and river health starting points, most of these have been developed around heritage by Ayanda. And the key thing here is considering heritage and the idea of clear water using the ututu, looking at sweet water, amanzi mnandi, looking at safe water, the relationship between quality water and frogs came up, and then floodwaters. How did people cope with the pollution that was associated with floodwaters? And then if you go to the heritage food section, there's an area on hand washing, and water comes into there. So you can look at quite a variety of topics when you're coping with this particular section. And the idea here is that these short presentations just provide starting points, and they help you to think into the situation, start to talk to people, and then you find that the indigenous knowledge comes out, the heritage, the history, and that informs the strengthening of the learning work that you're doing together around water and river health.